Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Caroline Garnett McGraw with The Clearing, and we are a residential treatment center for mental health and substance abuse issues. And as you can see, we are also very pet friendly. Today, one of our cats has decided to photobomb this video. And if you come to our estate, you'll know that we have some wonderful animals and they're always welcome. So she just decided to join in the fun today. Today, I want to talk with you about what is really causing your biggest problems. And it's not what you think it is. So, for so many of us, we have this very human tendency to attribute our problems to what is going on out there. He or she made me feel that way. If only that hadn't happened, or that shouldn't have happened. How many times do you hear yourself making statements like these, or do you hear other people making statements like that around you? It is rampant. We blame so much of our felt experience on what's happening out there. But the truth is that this is actually a really disempowering way to walk through the world. Because when we say, he made me feel that way, well, as soon as you walk into that person's presence, then you lose all your power, right? Because if that person can just make you feel a certain way at the drop of a hat, then again, you have no leg to stand on, you have no power. So it's tempting to attribute our problems to causes outside of us. We want to think that if only this person would shape up, or if only they would treat me differently, if only I would have had that opportunity, then my internal felt experience would be so different, right? Once I get that promotion or once I land that deal, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be content within myself. But deep down, we know better because every other time we've said that, oh, if I just get an A on this test, then I'll be happy. It hasn't worked. It hasn't lasted. We know this. So there has to be a better way. There has to be something more than relying on external circumstances. And so what I want to share today, and apparently this is exciting enough to wake up the cat, so pay attention, everybody, is from the principles of spiritual psychology. And it goes like this. The issue isn't the issue. The issue is how you are with yourself as you go through the issue. So I'll say that again. The issue isn't the issue. The issue is how you are with yourself as you go through the issue. And what that means is it's not about whether you succeed or fail, whether you get that promotion or you don't, whether your cat comes in and decides to have a grooming session during your Facebook Live video. It's not about that. It's about how are you treating yourself? Oh no, she's totally going to jump on the back of my chair. Guys, this is super exciting. I'll stay focused. How are you with yourself? How do you treat yourself? Do you treat yourself with kindness, or do you condemn yourself and judge yourself? Because that is actually what influences your internal experience. If you are really, really unkind to yourself, then you're going to have a really tough internal experience. And if you're kind to yourself and you're forgiving of yourself, then you can have a positive internal experience even when everything else is going crazy around you. So the thing is, a lot of people, when they hear this, they get really discouraged because they're like, well, yeah, that would be nice, but that's not my reality. Inside my head, it's super critical and it's super dark and twisty, and I've made all these mistakes and I'm ashamed of myself for all these things, and I've been using this drug and I've let other people down, and it's a tangled web, right? And it seems like, okay, maybe other people can have that positive inner experience, but not me. That's the crippling belief that we're different, right? And we can't have access to the same peace or that same happiness that other people can access. And what we've learned in our program is that that's just not true. And the truth is that we have had a lot of practice with being unkind to ourselves. We've had a lot of years of internalizing those judgments and those limiting beliefs, many of which were taught to us implicitly or explicitly when we were children and we didn't know any better. So we've had a lot of practice thinking, believing, and moving through the world in a certain way. And thanks to what we know about neuroplasticity, we know that repetition and exposure, when we think certain thoughts over and over and over, we literally create stronger pathways in our brain based on those thoughts. The technical term is myelination. So we myelinate, we have stronger neural pathways, we have stronger coatings over the nerve connections that are around certain thoughts. But the amazing thing about neuroplasticity is that the brain is changeable. When we learn and we grow and we experience new things, we fundamentally change the structure of our brain. So if we've had a lot of practice thinking a thought like, I suck, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, and I'm never going to amount to anything, we have a strong pathway in our mind around that thought. It's very easy for us to think it because it's very comfortable. It feels familiar. And there's literally physical structures in our brain that make that thought easier to think because we've repeated it so many times. But the hopeful aspect of this is if you start thinking a different thought, if you actually believe, if you learn to question your old beliefs and you find a new belief, such as, I believe that I can make a contribution. I believe that I'm here for a purpose. I believe that I'm a kind person. You can strengthen the neural connections around those beliefs as well. You can reinforce positive beliefs, and over time, those too will become easier to think and they will become your defaults. I wanted to share just a quick story of how this happened for me. So 2 years after I had the wonderful, amazing experience of going through the 28-day program at the Clearing, I was in my house, I was doing some work, and I had left a pot of rice on the stove. And I was so immersed in what I was doing that I forgot that I had left this burner on, I had left this rice on. And when I remembered, I caught that scent of rice that was just starting to burn. And I went, oh no, oh no. And I ran over to the kitchen and I turned it off, and I was mad at myself because I have done this many times. You can ask people who know me. I have a tendency to leave things on the stove. And so there was that initial rush of judgment. I should have known better. What was I thinking? What was I doing? How could I have let the rice burn again? But the really cool thing that happened to me in that moment was I heard myself speak these words almost before I had consciously thought them. It was like as I was thinking them, I was saying them at the same time. And what I said was, I forgive myself for burning the rice. And it was such a cool moment because I realized, oh my gosh, forgiveness has become my default. It didn't used to be. Shame and judgment used to be my defaults. But with practice, with education, and with time, and with repetition and consistency, self-forgiveness had become my default. And I'm so, so grateful for the team at the Clearing for teaching me how to put that into practice through the exercises that they did, through the principles that they taught. I learned how to get consistent with offering myself patience and forgiveness. So I just want to share that if you are someone who has struggled with hopelessness, with a lot of shame and self-judgment in your mind, know that you have the potential literally to change your mind on every level, and that there is help and there is support available. So with that being said, I'm going to just glance over to the comments. I know we've got some people watching live, which is wonderful. Junius says, hello. Hello, Junius. Thank you for being here. Anyone else, feel free to leave your comments, your questions. I do come back at the end of these videos and respond. And in closing, I will also say, if you want to hear more about how to actually resolve the thing that is causing your biggest problems, that is your own criticism, your own shame, your own judgment, your own negative inner experience, really, visit us at theclearingnw.com. Once again, that's theclearingnw.com. Or you can always give us a free confidential call at 425-275-8600. Once again, that number is 425-275-8600. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And hello, Leslie. Thank you for being here. Caroline McGraw, signing off.